Well, hello. You've caught me at a very healthy Chinese time in my life. So, today, we're going to be talking about my 5-year fitness journey. It is the start of 2026, and I have been really bad about updating my workout progress, my fitness progress, and I feel like it's about time that I start getting very serious about it. And it's not for any specific reason. I'm not going to a competition, I'm not a bodybuilder, I'm not a power lifter. I am just kind of competing with myself and my previous selves because I want to see how far I've come. Now, I have been really bad about logging my fitness journey over the last 5 years because I don't know why. I just had it in my head that it was kind of cringe for me to go to the gym, take progress photos and videos, when in reality, 5 years later, I'm kind of wishing that I did because it would have been so nice to look back at myself and like my full body and be proud of how far I've come. But you know, we're here now. Hindsight is 2020. I'm learning from my past mistakes, and I am gonna start documenting this year. I've been like reminiscing over some memories and looking through all of these previous photos, videos that I've taken, and I was like, wow, I didn't think that I was going to change this much over the last 5 years. I have grown so much as an individual, like personally, mentally, spiritually, but I've also changed so much physically that I never would have thought that this would have ever happened. And not in a bad way, but more of I wasn't prone to like physical activity. I didn't really join any varsity sports, didn't really like athletics in general. I was more of the seclusive, reclusive gamer girl that would play like MMORPGs and shooters. I had 2 older brothers, so they rubbed off on me quite a bit. Not that it's a bad thing, but I definitely didn't have like physical activity top of mind. Nowadays, that's changed a lot, and I've actually been looking for more physical activities to participate in so that I could not only meet other people with like-mindedness towards like physical activities and physical fitness, but also to just challenge myself to do something different out of the ordinary for what I've been doing for the last 5 years. So back in 2021, I was going through quite a lot of stuff. And during the summer, I had some tragedies that I had to work through. I also had to move. It was the end of COVID, so I had to find a job, a career. I was getting rejected left and right from my career. I didn't know where I was going to move to. I have a wonderful friend who offered me a place at her house, and I met my best friend over there, and it was just it was a surreal moment because like I look back on it all the time. Wow, I can't believe that I met my best friend, like one of my platonic soulmates, in this moment when I really needed to meet somebody just like him. Angel, shout out if you're listening. You better be watching my freaking videos. Okay, girl. We moved into my friend's house at the same time. We like to joke about it that her house was basically like a halfway house for all of the servers and like bartenders because we all worked at the same restaurant at one point. Really nice to have like a good friendship to base this new chapter in my life. And he introduced me to a lot of spiritual things, a lot of different mentalities, and also to fitness. We started because, you know, we both were going through different kinds of heartbreak, but heartbreak nonetheless. What do you do when you're going through a heartbreak? You go to the gym, you better yourself. So we signed up for a Gold's Gym membership. I started out with just like cardio, you know, 12-3-30. I would say like 12-3 an hour, however long Angel was there to lift. And eventually he asked me like, why don't you try weightlifting? Why don't you start weightlifting? And I was like, I'm a little worried about being bulky and blah, blah, blah. You know, womanly worries about when you start your lifting journey. It's based off of societal standards. Don't take it too seriously. It doesn't matter if you're too bulky. That's not going to happen unless you start taking steroids or something, which to each their own. If you want to take steroids, that's totally up to you. Totally cool. Also, if you're a really big muscular mommy, that's pretty cool in my book. I would be intimidated, but also be very attracted to you. So go off, girl. I didn't really know about lifting. I didn't know where to start. So he just gave me some short form videos, linked me to some YouTube videos. So I just started with machines. Super easy. I started off light, 5-pound dumbbells, 10-pound dumbbells, understanding the motion. And he was the one who told me at first, like, mind and muscle connection is very important in order to grow the muscles that you want to grow and to not injure yourself either. We would start doing the same exercises so that I could see how he does the movement so that I could copy him. I'm better at learning when I get to demonstrate or copy whatever someone else is doing and understanding their instructions in real time. I'm not saying I start out with perfect form, perfect all the time, but I was starting to get so used to it. This is how the movement works. Maybe I should try some free weights. I started doing like Bulgarian split squats with dumbbells, squats with the barbell. It was really fun. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it was actually really fun. Progressive overload is how you start seeing more gains in the weight and the sets and the reps that you're able to do, and you start seeing changes in your body as well. I didn't really notice that because I didn't take progress photos, videos, and I strongly regret it. I also strongly regret not digitally mocking up my workout logs until 2023. So from 2021 until 2023, I didn't have any workout logs. I know that I had paper journal workout log, but I don't know where I put it. Oopsie daisies. It was mostly bodyweight exercises that I would do at home so that I could get comfortable in the movements. 2022, I started noticing like a change in my mentality and a change in the way that I approached life just in general. And I honestly have to say that I think I could attribute all of that to going to the gym because I just felt so much more confident in myself. I kept showing up for myself. I told myself, I want to go to the gym before work these days. If I worked at night, I don't want to go to the gym at night. So I'm going to go to the gym before work in the mornings. If I'm working in the mornings, then I would be going back to the gym at night. It wasn't that big of an issue because I didn't have school the next day. I didn't have to wake up early for classes. Genuinely had a good routine. I at least scheduled my gym time so that I could keep showing up for myself. So I started trusting myself more and more often. And yeah, of course, there are some days that I wake up and I'm like, oh, you know what? Like, I'm not feeling it right now. I just worked like a double shift yesterday. I told myself I would go to the gym this morning and I just don't feel like it. I'm so exhausted, so tired, and I want to get ready for my shift tonight. Mentally get ready for my shift at the nighttime. And so, you know, there were days that I didn't show up in that way, but I showed up for myself still because I took care of my body. I didn't take my nutrition very seriously throughout this whole entire 5-year journey. I'm going to be very honest. The only thing that I really paid attention to was how much protein I was intaking, and even then I wasn't taking it that seriously, which I guess is kind of a bad thing, but at the same time, not really, because I still made gains, and I'm still making gains in a way that I am just very proud of myself for being able to move my body the way that I'm able to right now, and the amount of weight that I'm able to move with my body right now. When I first started my journey, I was about 130 pounds. It wasn't a very healthy time in my life. I was malnourished at the time because I was in a depressive episode. You know, you go through a heartbreak, and some people binge eat, some people don't eat, and I'm one of those people that don't eat. I don't have an appetite. It really took a toll on me and my weight and just my energy levels in general. As I lived with my best friend, as I continued to work on myself and my physical fitness, I started taking more and more care of myself. And in 2023, I went back to school. Tech school was when I really started showing up for myself because I kind of had to. Didn't have a job while I was in school for those like 6-7 months. I was on SNAP benefits. While you're on SNAP benefits, there are certain things that you're not allowed to buy. This is the perfect time for me to take this grocery budget and just buy fresh foods. So chicken, beef, vegetables, try to make as many healthy recipes as possible. It's very easy to hop onto that train when you are restricted in your budget, especially. I'm kind of taking that mentality into 2026. That was the best time that I've ever had in the gym. I had so much energy. I progressively overloaded. Each and every week I would add on a cookie. I would add on a 2.5 pound, 5 pounds to any kind of lift. It was so easy because I was still considered a beginner lifter. factor. Showed up to the gym at least 5 times a week, give myself the proper amount of rest, 8 hours a day at least. I just had time to take care of myself, to make food, to meal prep, to make my own breakfast, and to show up to the gym for an hour and a half, 2 hours. I think that in 2023, my physique, I was just really, really proud. I had come so far, and it just blew my mind. Like, I really didn't think that I would ever get that far. And in 2024, 2025, I kind of struggled just a little bit with my body image, not in any particular way, not for any particular reason. I just don't feel very good. Me moving over here, it was kind of difficult for me to kind of get into the groove and having somebody else in my routine. And I'm not blaming anybody, but it is a big factor when you start adding other people and other factors into the mix of your own personal life. You know, I was very used to being solo. I was single for the last 3 years at least. I actually have a really good time at the gym now too, but I can see that, you know, once I hit the intermediate/advanced stage of lifting, it was very difficult to see my gains in the gym because I've kind of plateaued and I haven't been taking care of my nutrition properly so that my muscles are recovering as fast as they should and building up mass as much as they should. Now in 2026, I'm looking back at all of these pictures, my workout logs, and I see a huge difference in the weight that I was lifting, in the confidence that I show up for myself and in my body. Why was I so harsh on myself throughout 2024 and 2025? There was absolutely no reason for me to be so upset at myself. Took care of myself as best as I could, and I took care of my partner as best as I could. I kept showing up to the gym whenever we could. We did lose a little bit of motivation because we had commercial gym memberships, which nothing on commercial gyms. If you are a member at a commercial gym you really enjoy, that's awesome. But when you start getting to the point where you're kind of plateauing in weight, you're going to the same gym every day for years and they all have the same equipment at commercial gyms, you're kind of wondering, I really want to try something different. Like, I want to do something different. I had a gym membership at a place called Metroflex in Plano. It was pretty cool. It was really nice, very raw, very hardcore. I'm not saying it's very nice as in the ambiance or the atmosphere was so nice. Like an Equinox member or Lifetime Fitness member. It was nice because you could just go in, you could focus, laser in on your workout. There was no air conditioning, windows, doors open, hot, blazing heat in the middle of the summer, June, July of Texas heat. Oh my God. I can just kind of remember the heat headaches that I would get whenever I would go there. I would just feel so exhausted. Don't have enough blood in my body usually most days. So it was very difficult for me to go in there and not get vertigo or blackout or get dizzy because it was so hot. But at the same time, because it was such a hardcore atmosphere, it made me work a lot harder, and I did hit PRs when I went to that gym. And also seeing other people be so motivated, be so big over in that gym really motivated me. And now we have entered a new year, 2026, with a new gym membership. This new membership that we have, they have so many different machines, colors and lights, and music is pumping, and there's bigger people. The environment change for the gym definitely changed our motivation towards our fitness. And I think that I look forward to going to the gym more often now than not, because I'm I know that I'm going to get a good workout in. So motivated to try and hit my next PR. I'm going to be honest. I started 2026 on my period, and I started 2026 sick, as well as my partner was sick. I still tried to go to the gym throughout the week last week while he was sick, but I only went twice. The rest of the days I was absolutely tired. I wasn't getting enough sleep. I don't even know why. I wasn't sick. I was having allergies and leftover sickness because I passed my sickness onto him. Oopsie, sorry baby. We're both feeling a little bit better. We're both feeling a little less tired, ready to continue our fitness journey. I have some goals. The goal definitely is to hit some new PRs. I also want to start taking my nutrition very seriously. I downloaded this app called Macro Factor. I've been hearing a lot about it from some of the fitness content creators that I've been watching for a while, like Lean Beef Patty, William Tennyson, Jeff Nippard. Super convinced that what I need to motivate me and give me a good head start on the basics of counting calories, counting my macros and micronutrients. I don't really care about weight. I know that weight it's not subjective, but it kind of is, because even though I was 130, I was at the unhealthiest point in my life where I was malnourished and I wasn't getting enough nutrients. I was at the skinniest point in my life, but I was very weak and the least energetic. Now I'm in my high 140s, low 150s. I've never felt more healthy. I've never felt more energy, and I have never lifted as heavy as I've ever had before. I look at myself from pictures back in like 2021, 2022 to pictures right now, and I have like fucking tree trunk legs. Okay, I'm pretty proud of the quads that I have right now. Proud that I can pump my chest. You know, like that one guy, Terry Crews scene where he's like bumping his chest muscles. I can do that now, and I think that's so cool. I also see a big change in my biceps. I have triceps. My calves are looking a little bit more defined nowadays. I'm just overall very happy with the physique that I have right now, but I know that I could do better. I want to see my gains to their fullest extent. I would like to have less visceral fat. I think I'm at high end like 30%, low end like 25%. I would like to start seeing a little more definition in my arms and my legs because I know that I have a lot of muscle under there. I want to see the different heads of my quads. I want to see my hamstrings when I bend over. I want to see all of the muscles that I have been working so hard on. One of the big goals is to start taking my nutrition seriously. I've already started using Macrofactor for the last like week-ish. It's not even been a week yet. Give me a head start on this journey. They could calculate for me like my metabolic resting rate, how many calories I should be eating in a day, and what macros I should be looking out for the goal that I have. I had to put in a goal weight whenever I signed up for a goal weight around like 130s, mid to lower 130s. I'm not super laser focused on the weight aspect. I'm more focused on the definition. I keep taking progress photos and videos just to see what the difference looks like from the beginning of the year until June. We want to work on that summer bod, and right now it's the perfect time to do it. I want to start going outside a little bit more. When spring is starting and the rain isn't as hard, I like to start going out on more bike rides, some league volleyball or pickleball. Definitely need to up my cardio game, and I already have a walking treadmill at home. I use it while I work and while I edit these videos, while I play video games, or while I watch YouTube. I try as much as possible to have the treadmill on. I don't think that things should be super serious. Fitness is something that should be fun for people. For people who are able-bodied, I think that physical fitness is something that is very important to the longevity of people's lives. I know that I have the ability to start taking care of myself in the way that I want to and start showing up for myself in the way that I should. I want to get into a little bit more fitness content this year. I want to try out doing some yoga and Pilates because I want to just challenge myself in different ways this year. Feeling the rush of trying something new, of challenging my body. I will definitely be checking in with you guys every once in a while, talk about my routine or do weekly videos, or maybe I'll do monthly check-ins, but I don't think that's very necessary. I kind of like seeing someone's before and after, just do like a big review. I'll show you throughout the months what my workouts are, sets and weights I'm completing. One of the other focuses for 2026 for me is actually my cycle. 2025 was the first year that I had a very stable cycle. I used to have very unstable, very irregular, very incapacitating periods. I had to get on birth control at 15 because periods were so irregular and I have anemia. It was discombobulating. Okay, your girl was out for the count whenever she was on her period. Birth control really messed up my hormones. It really messed up my nutrition. It really messed up my body image as well. I know that I'm better off without birth control right now. I can see a difference in my energy, and I feel like my period started getting back into a rhythm that I'm very comfortable with. I know whenever I'm about to start my period, I'm much more in tune with my body, and it's not as heavy, and also it's not as long. It's very consistent. It comes at the right time, kind of wanting to do more cycle syncing. Whenever my period starts, I need more iron, magnesium, zinc, and vitamin D just really want to make sure that I get the amount of nutrients that I'm supposed to be getting when I'm supposed to be getting them. I'm definitely going to do more research. I'm going to let you guys know, because a lot of studies for fitness and for exercise, weightlifting, strength training, endurance training, a lot of it is biased because it's mostly men. There are just so many factors that affect a woman, especially when she's on her cycle and different parts in her cycle that affect her training. Also, there's just a different anatomy when it comes to women and men. Like, women have more slow twitch muscles and men have more fast twitch muscles. Women are prone to using fat stores as energy versus men using carbohydrates as energy stores. And I think that the discrepancies are something that are worth looking into, especially as a woman who is strength training. So look out for the next check-in. I'm super excited to start this journey with you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will see you guys next week. Bye.